I'm Binns Melander, and this is an essay of mine on American music. The United States has sort of become a sort of cultural wasteland, or as they say, we have let the barbarians through the gates. Someone told me that my playing Chopin, old standards on the piano, was a burden on people who were forced to listen to it. It used to be called cocktail piano, and people paid to listen to it, or as it was an attraction at a good restaurant. Now we have hip hop or rap, which to me is completely unattractive and loud. No real melody, rhythmic speech, as I would say. What about classical music or jazz? You go to classical music concert and most of the people are 50 or older. In fact, I went to a concert just a week or so ago and asked the gal taking tickets if there was a senior discount. She said, "Oh, all the people here are seniors." Yeah, so, they don't teach music in schools anymore for the most part. My wife taught singing to elementary and middle school students for 25 or so years. Then the music program was cut. Cost too much, low priority. The people I use to perform my music are, for the most part, from other countries. Narmina, a concert pianist from Azerbaijan, once part of the USSR. She speaks Russian and English. Irina teaches violin at American River College. She is Russian and graduated from the Moscow Conservatory. Her son, Timur, also plays in my concerts, and he just graduated from a university with a major in something other than music, and he's a great violinist. Our cello players, my cello players, have been Jo Mo-chen from South Korea and Oksana from Belarus. A pianist I often use, Chi Sing-gao, is from Taiwan and speaks Chinese and English. My violist, an American who graduated from Manhattan School of Music in New York, is making his living right here in Auburn, teaching viola and playing in 2 symphonies as principal cellist, violist, and playing string quartet gigs, and he has a heck of a time making a living. There are some hopeful signs. Pop singers, for a number of years, have been singing old American standards from the great American songbooks, singing songs by Gershwin, Cole Porter, Burt Bacharach, like He's Close to You, What's It All About, Alfie, Paul McCartney singing Beatles, writing Yesterday, Michelle, Let It Be, Hey Jude, Michel Legrand, a Frenchman, the summer knows from the summer of 42, I Will Wait for You, What Are You Doing the Rest of Your Life? Rodgers and Hart, Henry Mancini writing Moon River, The Days of Wine and Roses, Raindrops Keep Falling on Your Head. Billy Joel singing, writing I Love You Just the Way You Are, New York State of Mind, Piano Man. In other words, there are good songs, older pop songs that are being sung and should be. And the singers of these old standards, Carly Simon sung Moonlight Serenade, All the Things You Are, I've Got You Under My Skin, Rod Stewart in English, man, I Can't Get Started, Stardust, It Had to Be You, Michael Bublé, Cry Me a River, Fly Me to the Moon, Somebody Loves Me. Now, Lady Gaga and Tony Bennett saying, The Lady is a Tramp, I Get a Kick Out of You, Love for Sale. Now, a lot of people have heard these songs, but a lot of people haven't. Linda Ronstadt who sang What's New, Skylark. Barbara Streisand, The Way We Were. Beyonce, of all things, singing The Way We Were. Why not perform older pop music and your new stuff like classical performance, performing Mozart, Brahms, then Stravinsky, Bartok, etc. There are still a lot of big bands, as they used to call them, dance bands when most people danced as couples. foxtrot, Latin swing, ballroom. There's a lot of jazz that is still being performed on, and it's performed on old American standards and some bebop and bossa nova lately, and newer tunes. With YouTube, everybody has access to, for the most part. With computers, cell phones, you can get almost anybody you want to hear as far as music. So what if a lot of pop music does old stuff? You know, Frank Sinatra, the Beatles, or has artists, imitators, who do singing stuff from the past. Is that so awful? There's good music and bad music. There's well-performed and badly performed music. Having technical proficiency as a performer is absolutely necessary for any high-quality music, as far as I'm concerned. Some jazz performers now, Emmett Cohen, New York jazz pianist from around here, Auburn, this area, Sacramento. Joe Gilman, who teaches at American River College and has the Brubeck Institute. Jim Martinez, who plays a lot of hymns, jazz style, and has performed at various churches and other venues. Nationally, there's George Cables, jazz pianist, Arturo Sandoval, who plays trumpet and Latin, and Sammy Nesico. These are people I knew. Sammy Nesico was a well-known Basie arranger, Count Basie, in the 60s and 70s, and I knew him in the Marine Band in the 60s. And John Handy, who's a San Francisco jazz saxophonist, and had a historic performance at the Monterey Jazz Festival in the 60s, and I played with him in the 60s and 70s. George Duke, pianist. Ahmed Jamal, jazz pianist. Eileen Elias, Brazilian jazz pianist and singer. Diana Krall, excellent, very well known. Jazz pianist and singer. Chick Corea, a lot of jazz, bossa nova, Keith Jarrett. And if you want to hear jazz, almost every night on KXPR Cap Radio, there's 4 or 5 hours of jazz with Gary Vercelli and other announcers. I have used Courtney Daniels, an opera star with Verismo Opera of Vallejo, and Terry Brown, who sang the lead in South Pacific with the Community Asian Theater Company Cats of Grass Valley, Nevada City, a number of years ago. And I've used them to sing these old American standards in concerts I've given, in arrangements I've made for strings, piano, and drums. I also attend the Catholic Church and sing in their choir, and they have a lot of good music, old and contemporary hymns like Spirit and Grace, Hail Mary, Gentle Woman, Amazing Grace, Faith of Our Fathers, etc. Morning Has Broken. Very few people in the congregation sing along with a choir when we're doing hymns. 40 years or so ago, I directed a small choir in a Presbyterian church in Folsom, and almost everybody sang the hymns. Thank you for listening to me talk about American music now and in the near past. Thank you.